Testing. 1, 2, 3. Is the mic close enough for y'all to hear me?
Sit back, relax, and come tune in because me and J.Levon about to go in.
What's up, y'all? You are tuned into another golden episode of Under the Twin XL, where we give our popular and unpopular opinions about love, life, and HBCU culture.
We're all about keeping it real, chill, and talking a big deal. You are now stuffed. Can't move. You cannot move underneath this Twin XL.
You can't even rub your feet together.
There's so much stuff underneath the Twin XL that you can't even move, but you're forced to listen to us on WANM 90.5, The Flavor.
Amen.
LOL. J.Levon, how you been?
Oh my gosh, Ash. I am surviving.
Yeah. Oh,
at the highest degree of survival.
I thought you were going to say good for a second.
You know, honestly, I'm always back and forth. So I can never not never, but right now I'm having a lot of back and forth. So I'm, surviving. I'm cool. I'm good for the most part. But, life is life in the semester is semestering. Trials are tribulationing.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. It's sophomore year for me. I don't know what it is.
No, I don't know what it is about sophomore year.
I don't know what it is, but it's sophomore year for me.
Nobody told me what to expect when it came to sophomore year.
She not playing.
She's whooping me.
That second year, not playing.
Freshman
she not
year was
playing.
so sweet.
So sweet, bro. Like I felt so innocent, didn't know anything that was going on campus, like the politics of it all.
And then you have this green-eyed.
You love school. You love your friends.
This energy. You love school. You love your friends,
bro.
I should have took more advantage of it if I would have known that I would have had this kind of
sophomore
burnout.
Yeah, sophomore year stopgap or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what. There's a name for it. I'm sure. Sophomore slump. Is that what it?
Let's call it the sophomore slump.
The sophomore slump is. I am slumped.
Yeah,
okay?
but they say after sophomore year it goes up from here.
I'm sure. I'm praying.
I can't take another year like this.
Listen.
No.
If that's if junior year is anything like this,
I'm not gonna make it out.
Yeah,
Not in 4 years.
Not in 4.
Not in 4.
It won't be 4.
It won't be 4.
It won't be 4.
And I don't have no desire to stay longer than 4. So then after the 4 years hit, then what? Because my motivation gone.
Okay, I'm not gonna say I won't have no motivation after the 4 years. I feel like after the 4 years, that's when I'm really gonna be like, yeah, I got to go.
That's why I'm just go ahead and try to get it to 4 years, because it's the same concept with why I'm not going to master's school or getting my master's, because baby, I can't take another class. After this, I'm done. And if my degree don't get me nowhere, I'm gonna be a TikTok creator. Point blank, period. They making millions on that freaking app.
That's really real.
They're making millions on that app. I might as well sit in here and kiki on the app. I mean, I'm funny.
I'm gonna be the new the male version of Reesa Teesa. That lady got 200K.
But at what cost though?
Ooh, clock it.
At what cost?
Clock it.
Reesa Teesa probably did make some good bands off that series. That's what we really should talk about. I didn't watch it though. I have ADHD bad. Look,
you could have watched it in 1.x.
I could not get past the first "Why did I get married?" or
if I got married.
Oh, yeah. I would say if I got married. I couldn't get past the first sentence she said because
really,
no, I could not watch that series. And then it was 40 parts, and they were all
2 plus.
No, yeah. Look, I couldn't do it. And plus, she talking for 10 minutes straight each time. That's why
I sped the videos up. And I
didn't even think of that.
And I was listening to it like a podcast and was doing other things while I was watching. I wasn't just glued to my phone watching her. I was cleaning my room, doing homework, eating food, going to class, stuff like that.
Yeah, no. I did not take a part of the Reesa Teesa.
That's real. I was a part of that conundrum. I was.
It was a mess on TikTok, Lord.
It still is. Because I think the man is trying to sue her now.
And Legion?
Legion is trying to sue her, and then all of Legion's exes are coming out
saying that he's a horrible man.
Basically backing up everything she said. He's ugly.
He's ugly.
Reesa went to FAMU.
I heard. Come on,
She's
along.
A Rattler. Strike, and strike again.
No, literally. Come on, alumni. I'm about to say that's why she doesn't have a good gauge to sense bad men, because coming from FAMU, these men have always been trash.
And
she
that
has
is
no idea what she's doing.
That is a great segue into this topic. That was amazing.
Wait. Before we even do that, we didn't even ask each other what's the song of the day before we even get it popping.
Oh my goodness.
And honestly,
we didn't. Okay, song of the day.
My song of the day, I'm gonna go with this song called Intergalactic Janet by Lee Soul. I found it on TikTok, and to me it sounds really close to Erykah Badu's Didn't You Know, kind of like she sampled it, but it has a really good tone over it. And also, I don't know if you guys know what Schoolhouse Rock is, but I was in Schoolhouse Rock the play my junior year, and they have a song called Intergalactic Janet about this girl who likes space or whatever. So I really like this song because it reminds me of my junior year when I was in that play, and you know, we were teaching little kids, you know, their ABCs 1 2 3s. LOL.
Aww.
Yeah.
My song is, you know how I am. I'm an R&B head. My song is Do You Wanna Love Me or Do You Wanna by Donnell Jones. It's a very smooth R&B song from the early 2000s.
The only song I know by him for real is, what is that song with Left Eye?
Oh, what's up?
You know what's up? Cause I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you. No, something about that song.
No, that's a
hit
great
that 1
song.
2.
That's like a black cookout song.
Yes,
for real.
I do love that song. But I do realize a lot of radio stations don't play Left Eye's part. They take out her rap.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like that.
That's a great part though. Like
I
that
agree.
makes the song.
I agree, and I feel like they do that to a lot of Left Eye songs. I feel like I really don't be hearing a full version of like Scrub either. I don't know, child. I'm sure that goes way back past some I don't know.
That's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Somebody has,
because they are erasing that girl, child.
So our XL mail today is about loyalty in relationships, college relationships. Just a quick one too. Some things that we've mentioned, but I just feel like we need to take a deeper look in it because, you know, Valentine's Day has passed and, you know, you see the rise and fall of relationships on campus. Like you really do see a decline in how many people you see together, like compared to like a week or two ago, and then compared to like some weeks before that. It's just really crazy.
I feel as if relationships in college are possible, but it takes a lot of maturity, discipline, and like the willingness to actually make the relationship work, because you have to really like the person, I guess. Because, you know, people come up with that conspiracy theory that college is the time to do whatever you want, and people for real be running with that. Like, you hear about it like in the movies and stuff, but no, that for real is the mindset down here. I don't know if it's every college campus, but at Florida A&M Agricultural and Mechanical University, at Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, they live by that. Like, it's college, let's do whatever we want, let's live, let's taste every flavor because every flavor is beautiful, you know, things like that. And I don't necessarily think that's the mindset that we should have, because I'm like, no, are we not looking forward to getting in committed relationships like after college? And don't you think that this would be a good base for you to learn how to be in an actual committed relationship? Because I'll tell you, I ain't going back and forth with no 25-year-old man who don't know how to be in a relationship for real, because you took all your the last 4 years of your life getting your degree, bouncing around dorm to dorm.
Clock it. But honestly, I feel like if that's your prerogative, like, say that though. My problem isn't the people that want to taste every flavor. It's the fact that you want to taste every flavor knowing that you got your candy bar at home and you still want to taste every flavor. Like, it's one thing if you just want to taste every flavor and you walk around with taste tester on your forehead. That's fine with me. Like, okay, so we know where you stand. It's the ones who have their candy bar at home but want to go sample every other flavor in the candy shop. Don't do that. You got your candy at home. Stop being selfish.
So do you think that cheating, do you think the level of cheating in college is high?
Obviously. I think that's obvious. I think that it's very scary to be in a relationship on campus because you never know. It's so easy to get away with it. It's also very easy to get caught, but it's very easy to get away with it if you play your cards right. I just really don't know where that loyalty comes in.
Where does that loyalty lie?
Where does it come in? Like, and when do you lock into your loyalty?
Well, I don't know. I feel as if somebody really does. I know a couple people who are in relationships, and for what I can see, it takes you to actually really like a person to really sit down and lock in. You have to want it. Fight for it. You have to fight for it. Because no relationship is easy, one, but then the stresses of being in college on top of that definitely doesn't make a relationship easy. So you have to be willing to fight for it. And I feel like for the people that I do know that were in relationships, some of my close friends, they do want it. So I do see where that loyalty lies, where that determination lies, maturity, communication. But on the flip side, baby, some of these people be popping out. Some of the people be popping out, and I do be scratching my head like, how long I've been in a relationship for y'all to be popping out like this? Because this is really real questionable.
Because not too long ago.
Look, all I'm going to say is, sometimes timelines don't be timing. And I'm not the timekeeper.
They have a lot of overlap.
Look, I'm not a timekeeper. Trust me. I'm not. I'm not the timekeeper. But sometimes timing don't be timing, and I be trying to calculate, and then I don't get the right equation because we all confused. You confused, I'm confused, we confused.
And there's no formula for this.
And there's no formula. There's no calculator that can calculate that. There's no calculator that can compute that.
I really do stand on, like, you have to want it, and you have to want it for the right reasons. Do you want a relationship just to say that you're in a relationship? Do you want a relationship just for validation? Because if you're just looking for validation, you can get validation from 10, 12 people and it still not be enough.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like, why do you want to be in this relationship? Do you really want a companion, or do you want somebody to sing your praises and make you feel better? Because if that's the case, if that's what the relationship is based on, there's no loyalty in that.
Loyalty. That's what Kendrick Lamar said, man. I'm just quoting the man.
And a lot of y'all don't have it.
Well, I'm not gonna say a lot of y'all don't have it.
Well,
because
a lot of y'all don't show it.
Well, no, I'm just gonna say that people are just in the mindset that it's okay to do whatever, and I think that's okay. Like you said earlier, just go around and make that known.
Yeah, like just be upfront, because it's the play that I don't appreciate.
It's the play for me. Look, it's the play for me. But hey, folks like to play. We can play all day. Not me. When I say we, I was just trying to rhyme.
Jared don't.
Look, I was just trying to rhyme because I don't play that.
Jared don't partake at all because I don't have time. I don't want to take that chance.
Yeah, when I say we, that was just me trying to rap, because baby, Ashton and Nia won't be doing that. No. With that being said, last question. Do you think Reesa Teesa was dealing with the same level of men here at FAMU when she was here?
I will say that Legion is on a totally other level.
Yeah.
Than anything, not anything, but than what FAMU usually produces. I don't think that
she was ready for that.
I don't think that she could have been prepared for that level of chaosity. I know that's not a word, but that level of chaos in her life as what that man brought into hers. You didn't watch the whole 50 parts.
I didn't, yeah.
So you don't really know how intricate the lying was, and how intricate, like, he literally had a false life that he presented to her and worked very hard, preserve that lie and keep up that fallacy. Like,
yeah, I heard it was crazy.
So I don't think that the average FAMU man is capable of all of that.
I hope not.
I pray.
Look, I hope not.
For
praying for all y'all out there. Look, praying for all y'all out there in them streets, man.
For everybody's sake, every last one of our sakes.
LOL. Well, we didn't even say hey. The mailman didn't even come in.
He didn't come in. We found this on the doorstep. When we
it was okay.
in.
Yeah. We just had to go ahead and pick it up as soon as we walked in the stew. And we opened it up. Well, with that being said, when it comes to being in college, there's just so many great avenues that comes with it. I think this is a time in our life where we're growing, we're definitely learning ourselves more than ever before. And I think one of the biggest things that come with college is that peer pressure, baby. Like, people talk about it. I think I've been hearing about some type of peer pressure since elementary school, because that gets taught with the bullying course.
Right.
The big thing is peer pressure is something that you don't want to go through, that you don't want to put anyone else through. You want to know the signs of peer pressures. You want to be able to be strong enough to say no. Da 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 da. And I've been hearing the same spiel since elementary school.
I think that's a part of it. I think because it's something that we have been made aware of so many times that we start to ignore it, kind of.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even realize that that's what's going on if it's not these specific 5 telltale signs that you've been hearing about all your life. You don't even perceive it as peer pressure.
I will say, by the time I hit high school, I was really up for anything. LOL. At that point, peer pressure was kind of out the window, because you could convince me.
And at some point, you really do think, like, I want to do this just because I want to do this. And it's like, no.
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, like the whole peer pressure thing definitely went out the window. So I get what you're saying, because I feel like you just get so used to it that you really can't even put your finger on it and be like, oh, that girl just pressured me to do X, Y, and Z. And I don't even see it like that, because like I say, it really don't take. I mean, of course, if I don't want to do something, I don't do it. But to a certain point, once I hit high school, when they said the peer pressure would have been the worst, where it's like, drink this, at that point, how hard was it for people to really convince high school students to do these XYZ things, But with that being said, when it comes to college, do you think peer pressure is always bad?
That is a very layered question, and it sounds so simple, but I will say that peer pressure can be very detrimental to somebody's mental health and to the choices that they take. On the other hand, what is it pressuring you to do? Because at the same time, pressure makes diamonds. So it's like,
okay,
are your peers pressuring you to be a better student? Are your peers pressuring you to really get on your mess? Like, be about your business?
On your bully?
Yeah, be on your bully.
Are you on your bully?
Are you on your bully? Are you on your business? Are you standing on business?
Are you on your bully? Yeah.
Because, or are they pressuring you to not go to class? Skip this, skip that. Don't worry about that. Worry about this instead. Go to that party. I really want you at this party, but I got this assignment due at 11:59, but I really want you here, friend. So it's just like, most times peer pressure is a negative thing, but I will say, like, I've had times where like my friends have checked me and was like, this one girl literally told me, she said, Jared, I never see you study. Like, what do you mean? Like, I've never seen you study. And I said, girl, I be studying all the time. She said, it can't be enough.
Oh.
I said,
the silence in the room afterwards, because I would have been like,
yeah, so I will say, like, that was a form of peer pressure, but it got me to do what I needed to do. So I don't really know if that is peer pressure. Like, maybe that's classified as something else. But I don't know. I felt pressured to get on my stuff, So I will say, like, 9 times out of 10 it's negative, because people who are pressuring you in that way, do they really care about you? And that's all. That's where that comes from, really.
Ooh, and I feel like, so with that, on the flip side, with the girl at like questioning like, when do you ever study? I don't know if that's pressure, but I do see where that can go when it comes to being like lighting a fire underneath you to be like, okay, now I gotta go harder. I say one of the biggest things that happens in college is comparison to your peers and what they have going on.
That's something I was gonna touch on too.
And when it comes to comparison, you can compare yourself to your homegirl, and then she can be doing X, Y, and Z, getting all these opportunities. And then ultimately, that could be the pressure right there for you to lock in and be like, well, not necessarily follow the person, but discover what you're interested in.
Yeah, do it in your own right.
Right, yeah. Discover what you're interested in, what you want to, what projects you want to start, because ultimately you see, somebody else growing and you want to grow too in your own aspect. So I definitely feel as if sometimes that pressure is needed to be like,
college is a pressure cooker. I will say college is a pressure cooker. Like, you see everyone doing things and
make some good meals afterwards. Yeah.
Clock it. But I think, like, you see a lot of people doing well. You see people doing things that you could be possibly interested in. You see people getting these opportunities that you would like to have for yourself, and you feel the need to go a little harder to make sure that you're one of those people now. And I will say, like, there is a lot of pressure on all of us in college to be better, like, to really take this opportunity of higher education and make our lives better, make it something that it wouldn't be without being here, So I will say, like, seeing everybody walk around yelling about their 4.0s and their internships and their scholarships, it can be pressure. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Now, will you let that deter you and just make you give up? Or will you?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's a thing too. Like, so even if like the initial action isn't negative, the reaction can still be negative regardless. So even if they're not pressuring you, because
it's about how you react to it.
Yeah, so it's like, even if they're not pressuring you to do something negative, you can still have a negative reaction to whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's very tricky. That's why I say, like, it's a layered question, because there's so many different aspects for so many different people, because everybody isn't gonna respond to something the same way. A lot of people can't handle this pressure. They leave, they drop out, they switch schools, they do whatever they have to do, or they feel like they have to do
to relieve that pressure.
To relieve that pressure.
And I definitely say, going to the highest of 7 hills for the agricultural university, there's a lot of pressure that comes with being at a HBCU that is so top ranked as well, because it's a lot of finger pointing, a lot of people trying to make people be perfect. And I feel like we, at our school at least, we do not have a sense of people being human. Folks can't mess up at all. Like, everybody doesn't have to be perfect, but I feel like soon as you step out and you are a little bit known or you are doing something, that's when the public eye like completely turns on you, and it's like you have to do this and this because me, the viewer watching you, want you to be. And I feel like with us having that mindset is extremely toxic, especially with fizz culture. Fizz is going to be the death of a generation.
Clock
LOL. With fizz culture, they want everybody to be perfect, and that brings the pressure of, am I doing enough? Am I good enough? And then the constant questioning of self. I say once you do get to that level, because that's not for everybody, but just like the simple running for positions, like election season this semester was a mess. And what was, the main cause of it? This is not on my app. And that's putting this pressure on our officials to give them perfect service, give them perfect grades, give them perfect, even though the person commenting
is nowhere near perfect.
Nobody is perfect.
Nobody is perfect.
Like, no one's perfect.
I think that there is definitely a spotlight put on certain individuals who do try to step into those leadership positions, and it's very unrealistic. Nothing about it is realistic.
No, like, I don't know if this is a common thing at other universities, because I can only speak for the one that I'm enrolled in currently. But I do wish that we would take a step away from that perfect mindset. But you have to realize, I feel like that mindset comes from the Black community in general. We put that pressure on ourselves because the white man...
That's what I was going to say. Like, there's a reason behind it.
Yeah, I mean, the white man put that pressure on us to be, not necessarily to be perfect, but we were already so set behind in their eyes that it pushed us to want to be perfect, to line up to what... the white man says is okay.
Because we have to work twice as hard for half.
All the time, and that's never going to end. And that mindset being deeply rooted at my HBCU, which stands for what? Historical Black College. We all Black around here with the same mindset, holding each other down. And we'll never elevate as a community because this mindset will forever go on, at least in these Black communities, in these Black spaces. And I feel as if it's not being talked about enough. That pressure just to be like the holy Black person. Like, I don't know. Look, I don't know.
Man.
I don't know.
I think like there are some things about it that do work. Like I said, pressure does make diamonds.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid that if we didn't have this pressure on us, that a lot of us would fall short. A lot of us would slack off. A lot of us wouldn't be on our P's and Q's. And then when
Q's
we
and
get,
P's, yeah.
our T's would not be crossed, our I's would not be dotted. And then when we get out in the real world, we get looked at crazy. Because how do you not know this? Why do you not do this? You know what I'm saying? Why do you not have that fire under you to really go out and eat? Yeah. So I think like there is a positive side to it, but getting to that side takes a lot of work, takes a lot of determination, takes a lot of headstrong. I know who I am and you can't change that to get you there. And I think that's what makes it so hard because everybody doesn't have that. And sometimes I don't have it. I never feel like I'm doing enough. So it's like, it's very hard. Yeah. It's very hard for me to even say that there's a positive side to it, but I would be lying if I wouldn't speak on that side.
That's real. And would you say, we have to talk about the basic generic drinking, drugs, partying. Would you say like the influence of those things being more available at your fingertips now that you're in college, would you say that like your peers around you do put that on you to participate and join?
I will say I don't partake in the devil's lettuce.
Yeah.
And I will say that I have felt pressured on a multitude of times to partake. And I have my reasons as to why I don't. And 9 times out of 10, when I, explain myself, then I get, left alone. But sometimes I feel like I shouldn't have to explain myself as to why I don't want to do this certain thing with you. Like, I don't feel like it should even get to that point where I have to explain myself. I feel like no should mean no. Thankfully that I'm strong-willed enough to where my no does mean no. And it's hard at certain times because a lot of people that I know and am around partake. And you know, in college, it's a very, very, very accessible thing. It's a very routine thing. It's a very like run of the mill, it's not no big deal type of situation. So sometimes it's hard to be like, yeah, no, this ain't for me, when everybody else doing it and having a great time. So it's like, I do feel pressured in that way. And I imagine a lot of people feel pressured as well. Not even like with somebody like throwing it in your face, but like everybody's doing it and having a good time. Oh, I want to have a good time too. But it's like, I don't know, man. It's very hard to stay the course sometimes. 9 times out of 10, I be chilling. But you have those rare occasions where it's like, dang, everybody having fun and I'm just over here sitting. So it's pressure.
Yeah, I definitely will say I totally get what you're saying about I shouldn't have to explain. And I feel like that put it in perspective for me. Because I will say there have been times, not necessarily in that situation, but there have been times where I've been
on the other end.
On the other end, you know, trying to persuade somebody to do something.
Don't get me wrong, I have too.
And I feel like you saying it shouldn't be no explaining. I feel like I kind of like jerked back and looked at you like, that's true. It should be like a no, I'm fine, end, period. And I feel as if that is something that needs to be a reminder in all of our minds when we are trying to ask our friends to do certain things. And I feel like from now on, I am going to look at that perspective and change that. Because I don't know, it really did speak to me to be like, I shouldn't have to explain. No, I agree. If my answer is no,
you know,
that's it. You know, it shouldn't be a no, keep like, please, like for me, let's do it, please. Like it should be a no, I shouldn't have to explain. And I 100% agree with you.
You know, I'm a very like nuanced person. I believe in nuance. Like that's my number one rule. Like 2 things can be true at the same time. So I also do have to acknowledge the fact that when people do invite me to indulge, it's because they want to share an experience with me. One, they want me to feel whatever they feel, and they want to share that with me because they enjoy it, and they want to share their, you know, their happiness in the moment with me. So I do understand that, like, it's not, you know, really from malicious intent, but it just doesn't change the fact that my answer is going to be no.
Yeah.
And I have also been on the other end of that, just with other things, you know, whatever it may be, like, even if it's not, you know, a substance, just, girl, eat a cheeseburger and you on a diet. You know,
yeah,
whatever,
like stuff like whatever it is.
Whatever it could be.
And it's that cheeseburger, but you on a diet is funny.
So it's like I also have to be understanding that I know how it feels to be on the other end. So I should be more understanding. So I don't want you to think that like I'm calling people out, you know, whatever. But like we all have to take accountability because we all contribute to this pressure cooker. Like it's not just like certain people; it's everybody.
Piece by piece,
by piece. Class by class,
person by person, brick by brick,
brick by brick. Like we built this community. Because I hate when people talk about FAMU culture, and then I see you partaking in FAMU culture. You get what I'm saying?
What can I say?
You get what I'm saying? Like everybody, what can I say? Everybody wants to be a critic, but nobody wants to really change. Nobody wants to change anything, and at the very least, nobody wants to say, "I'm not going to be a part of this." Nobody does that, but we talk mess. We talk our mess. And we go do the same thing that everybody else is doing. We acknowledge the fact that we don't like it, but then we keep doing it. I don't understand that. Like, don't get me wrong, we all do it at some point in time, but like some people just complain, act like you hate being here, and then I see you at every function. I see you posting, I see you typing on Fizz. What's that about? I thought you hated that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like we all have to be accountable for the fact that we contribute to the society that we're living in.
And I even say for me, like I'm sitting here, you know, we consistently talk about things that happen around FAMU, but I can even say for me, I sit here and say one thing, and then there definitely have been times where, you know, you can sit and complain about FAMU, but I still, you know, participate, join these organizations and try for these things because at the end of the day, like you said, we all contribute to this culture. And until somebody for real, like, gets off that high horse and, like, wants, like, bees the change that they really want to see. And I'm sure there's definitely people.
It's hard now. Don't get me wrong. It's completely hard.
Oh, definitely. Not saying that.
Since 1887, this has been a thing. Like, this is nothing new.
Yeah.
Like, I have lots of family who are Rattlers, and we all have the same story. Like, you get what I'm saying? So it's not like this is going to be easy to dismantle if somebody was to really seriously come in and try to rearrange, they're going to get so much pushback.
But I feel like it's going to be impossible. I feel like it's the same thing with racism. Like, racism is never going to leave because it's so deeply rooted that you cannot remove racism from the roots of its history. And I feel like it's the same thing with FAMU. Like, FAMU is probably never going to change because it's so deeply rooted. And like you said, for somebody to try to come, you saw what happened when the football coach left, right?
Yeah.
Then Tiffany Stikes, she was trying to get somebody else to come in. You know how bad those alumni were talking about that lady for doing her job because they didn't want her to bring somebody else in.
Yeah.
And all she was doing was trying to get a new football coach. And you know, it's like you try to be the change, you get so much pushback at that point.
Like, you try to be the change.
What is change? You know, like, who cares about change at that point? Because now you're messing with my sanity.
Yeah, like, you try to be the change and you end up being painted as the devil. Like,
they were talking about that lady so bad on social media, and this is not even anonymous. This is them talking bad about her on Twitter with their faces added to the quote. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To be the change, it takes a lot of thick skin and a lot of determination to stay the course. And stay the course. Yeah, that's hard.
Honestly, I never intended on being a change. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm just gonna be honest. Like,
let's say it.
That's not my intention. My intention is to make the society work for me.
Mm-hmm.
My intention
and do it for me. Yeah,
are to do it for me, make it work for me, get what I need out of this experience, and leave everything else behind.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sorry, like, I love activism, but as far as campus culture, I ain't activating for it. I'm sorry, like, I don't have that thick skin that you need to do something like that. So my skin is thick enough to deal with it, take the pressure, become the diamond, and move on.
Yeah, I feel like
notice it, speak on it, support it, support the one who will activate, who will get it started, who will be the change they want to see, and not criticize them and demonize them.
Right, because I'm gonna stand behind them.
I'm gonna stand behind them. But I just gotta be real and say that I don't know if me as a person I could do it.
Yeah.
And you gotta have those in any revolution. You have to have those people who are willing to take a back seat.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be. You don't have to be that person, but there has to be people there that are willing to be led. You can't be a leader if you aren't leading anyone. So I'm willing to be led. If we're gonna change the community, I'm willing to be led. But me personally, I ain't got the answer, so I can't change it.
Yeah, I think right now it's important to, like you said, notice it, talk about it,
bring awareness to it for sure.
Right, and then like evaluate how you're gonna move in it and what you're gonna do as an individual. Because I feel as if enough individual people look within themselves, LOL. Yeah. If enough of individual people look within themselves and reflect, and then they decide that they do want to make the changes just for themselves, not necessarily they need a big group to follow along, then ultimately that's change happening one speck at a time. And I feel as if
brick by brick, like you said,
that me talking right here on this podcast with you about what we feel about this, and then understanding it, acknowledging it, that the culture is there, and adapting to it, and also being willing to talk about it and open about how we feel about it. I feel like one step at a time, babe. Because one thing about it, I'm graduating 2 years and I'm not going to be able to be the campus pioneer. I'm not. Because I'm not going to say I don't have time, but I'm also trying to get this journalism degree and I need to know how to write. LOL. And
no.
I need to pass these classes. And I just don't know if I have time to be the campus pioneer. But one thing I can do is talk on this mic and share it with y'all via your phone.
Encourage you to be the change that you want to see in the community.
Let's all do it.
Let's all
one speck at a time.
One speck at a time. Like, honestly, don't ever think,
change for yourself.
Don't ever think that you doing something for you doesn't affect others.
Doesn't go unseen, guys.
Your resilience, your being your own pioneer in your own life. Forget the culture. Be activate your own life. Like, that isn't something that is unseen. Like, people see the way you move, and if they like it, they conform, and then like the energy that you give off, people can feel that, can see, and they can radiate, and it spreads like wildfire in a good or bad way. Don't get me. So
it could be negative.
So I implore you to make sure that you're on the great side of that. Make sure that you're the positive change and not the negative change. But every action has a reaction, and that reaction has an action, which a reaction with a reaction with a reaction, and now it's a wave of actions and reactions, and that is the culture that we live in. that is the society that we live in. So why not make your wave the positive one? And then there is the alleviation from the pressure. Clock it.
Boom.
Bam.
That was tea, I fear.
Every now and again, I put my thinking cap on.
No, when I said this episode, you ate. This episode, you
I really
ate.
appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. Me looking back and be like, yeah, they shouldn't have to explain when they saying no, Ashton. I'm like, yeah, they shouldn't have to explain when they saying no.
You know, like
I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
because
honestly, I get it. I don't want to explain why I'm saying no. Like, if somebody's asking me consistently to go to the club or to the party and I don't want to go, I shouldn't have to be like, I don't want to go because my stomach's cramping right now. It should be like, I don't want to go.
And don't get me wrong,
Some things need an explanation, but at
I
that
do.
point,
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, don't get me wrong, like everything is easier to understand when there is an explanation, because sometimes when you say no and just leave it at that, it could be like anybody could take that however they want it. So like for going to the club, per se, like if I invite you to the club and you just say no, I'll be like, oh dang, she don't want to hang out with me, because I don't know that you just don't like the club. And
yeah, okay.
And you'll be willing to hang out with me any other time, doing any other thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't know that because all you said was no and hung up the phone. Crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like some things do need that extra explanation, which is why I don't get upset when I have to explain myself. I don't get upset. It's just a little frustrating when it is a repetition. Like that's what's frustrating about it, is that I keep having to explain myself over and over again in the same night as to why I'm not doing what everybody else is doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's when I get frustrated. But me just saying like, oh, I don't do this and this is why, it's not that I don't trust you, or it's not that, you know, I think that you don't have, you know, I don't want to get into details, but like, you know, it's not anything personal against you or what you're doing, and it's not any judgment, because a lot of people think that I'm just judgy. Like that's a thing. Like a lot of people think that I'm just judgy and I think I'm too good and I think like I'm better than that, and it's like, no, that's not the case. It's just not something that I want to indulge in, and I think that you have to be understanding of that and not get all offended by that. But I understand why you may feel that way, because a lot of people do have that reaction. So, you know, it's like whatever. I'm talking, you know, in circles now, but you know, like a little extra information is helpful to the situation to make it move clearer, but I don't owe you that.
Yeah.
I'm doing that because I'm just a nice person and I don't want you to have any hard feelings, but I don't owe you an explanation for nothing. You're just going to get one if I feel like giving you one. But I don't owe you jack.
Squat. Yeah.
Diddly squid, okay?
Well, this episode 8, I fear.
I fear that
I feel like this episode 8.
A great comeback, because, you know, like, we've been gone for a little bit. Like we said, this semester is semestering. What is sophomore year about? Like, what? Even when it comes, like, y'all,
I'm genuinely confused.
Mama, honestly, like, we've been under this twin XL more than y'all know. It's been really hard to get quality content to you all, because we're drained. Like, can we speak on it just a little bit?
Look, you're ready. Can we speak on it just wait, do you have a second?
Do you have a second, y'all? Like, it's so, like, y'all.
If y'all feel the same way, it's okay. We're here. We're right there with y'all.
It's too much character development going on. It's too much.
Heavy on the character development. Y'all, why did my aunt pass?
Condolences.
Yeah, now I want to mic this talking.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I did not know that.
My aunt passed 2 weeks ago, and oh my gosh, death in college is not.
I can't imagine like being away from home.
Yeah, definitely that, and then having to go home to the funeral, but still having to work. Like I still had articles to write and stuff. It was. Girl, it introduced me to the real world real fast. Like black people always getting together. You know, we had the fish fry the Friday before her funeral. You know, my family's doing whatever, and I'm in a room writing my article. You know,
like let me tell you,
I'm locking in. My family's like, "Where's Ashton?" Oh, she in the back room because she got to write.
I had a similar experience when my grandmother passed in January, and you know,
this January.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, child, it's a mess. Like,
wow, I did not know that.
So it's like, I had to deal with the same thing because, I still had homework.
Yeah.
Like, I still had a life to live. The semester had just started. I can't start behind. So yeah, everybody's sitting there talking, and my cousin literally told me like, every time we come to grandma's house, you're in this seat on this computer. I said, girl, I don't have a choice. Like,
it's go, go, go. Life is here.
Like, I'm literally eating repast food and writing an article.
No,
or doing homework.
Literally.
I don't think it was an article, but it was an essay type thing.
Literally.
So it's like, life does not stop because life is lifing, you know. And I think that is a wake up call. That's a lot on your mental, especially you not like. I'm from here, so I still have a chance to connect with certain family members after, you know, when I do have time, if I have time,
yeah.
But like you being away from home. I'm sure people were traveling there that you hadn't seen in a while.
It definitely was a lot.
And you didn't have the chance to really enjoy them like you probably wanted to. And then you had to come back here and start all over again. It doesn't stop. So I hadn't even thought about that before you just said that, because I am like I keep saying, I'm from here. So like those certain things, like they just don't pop in my head about how hard that can be. The added bonus of I'm away from home in a different state.
Yeah. And, man, I really don't know what sophomore year is about. She's back. She's out for revenge. But, baby, so am I. I'm here to fight, though. Like, I'm here for the long haul. And
Clock it.
It's been rough, but definitely nothing that I couldn't handle or get through. Because, I'm sitting on this mic talking to y'all right now and doing what I love always.
Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up.
Developing as a... you know, radio personality and all.
And as a person,
you know, like you said, a lot of character development going on, baby. I'm getting stronger and better every day. Like it is crazy.
I will say, like, you are definitely somebody that I would see as, like, one of those diamonds that the pressure is making.
Thank you.
Like, genuinely. So, I don't think, like, there's anything that could happen that just makes you give up. I don't see you giving up. Like,
yeah.
I know you too well for that. So, I would... like to send love to Ash. Like, everybody send love to Ash. Like, it's so real. Like, it's really hard. Like, sophomore year is really coming for everything the devil stole from her, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, she's not playing.
I'm getting caught in the crossfire because I did nothing to
I don't want nothing to do with the devil or 2024. Like,
I don't want to have nothing to do with the devil. So, like, why am I getting caught in the crosshairs and I'm suffering? I don't understand, but, you know, I just gotta pray, girl. I gotta keep God in my life, because other than that...
Look, I just gotta pray, girl, because that's all I can do.
Because other than that, you know, like, there ain't no peace, and I need some understanding.
Amen.
You know,
that's what there ain't no peace, and I need some understanding. Heavy on there ain't no peace, and I just need to understand something. Like, give me something.
Like,
yeah, heavy on that.
It's really hard, and I will say that having people in your life that love you is helpful. Having people in your life that are going through the same thing as you is helpful. Having a strong foundation is helpful. Man, it's because it's hard out here for a pimp when you're trying to make this money for your rent.
Trying to get the money for the rent, like heavy on rent. Had to pay rent this month. Like
that's scary. Now that's adulting 101.
Yeah, I don't pay rent though. I don't pay it, but I had to hit that button. Like, oh my god, that was a lot. LOL. Girl. Okay. With that being said,
you lost me now.
With that being said, that was another golden episode of Under the Twin XL, man. I love us.
This was really a hit. Like, this was a hit.
Look, yeah. T.
I would encourage everyone to really look at, you know, the culture that they're living in, seeing the way it affects you, seeing, you know, if these are the things that you're doing are really things that you want to do. And if not, how can you change that? Look out for these relationships. Make sure you're in it for the right reasons, because you will be emotionally beat up.
Baby, these men ain't playing. And women. Girls have game. I'm not about to sit here and just blame all men.
Too.
Yeah, girls have game. You better just watch out. Keep them eyes open. Don't turn out to be a Reesa Teesa, honey. Poor lady. I'm know she's sick of folks talking about her, child. Anyway, love y'all.
This has been...
Look, love y'all so much.
I just really, I appreciate y'all for sitting here listening to us.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. So, This has been Under the Twin XL. I'm Jared, also known as J.Levon.
And I'm Ash. Y'all have a blessed week. Rest of y'all semester. Keep y'all heads up. Keep going. Don't give up. And continue to listen to Under the Twin XL on WANM.
Bye, y'all.
Boy.
Under the Twin XL is produced in the studios of WANM-FM 90.5 in the School of Journalism and Graphic Communications at Florida A&M University.